Welcome, everybody. This is Dan Arena. Welcome to Inside the Booth.
And I'm Tabitha.
2012 is upon us.
That's right.
Everybody get your masks on. Get ready. The end of the world is coming soon.
I'm ready. I'm going out in style. Or I'm hitting the slopes. Either way.
Now that that's over, so warm.
Detoxing over there.
Oh, hey, hang on a second. I know what I can do.
Did we take you by surprise there? There we go. Be sure to visit insidetheboothreviews.com where you can get fancy merch like a neck gaiter or a head gaiter in this case.
That's right. You wear it one way, then you wear it the next.
That's right. Avery Cruz says, "Thanks for the nightmares, Dan." TD's like, "I'm going out in style." That's right. That's right.
All right. Well, welcome everybody. Whew. It's really hot. It's a hot summer. And I know I can act pretty good. I looked like it was really cold out, right?
Well, if you've seen this film, you know that the core temperature of the Earth is rising and the neutrinos from the sun are affecting our atmosphere. So Dan's only playing the part.
That's right, everybody. That's right. And we got and for some reason it was the South Pole was the last thing to get flooded.
I forgot.
And then
I was gone at that time.
Yeah. And then they realized that Africa was the only place that never flooded ever.
Oh. I wanted to actually I really wish I had a scientist like to sit with me whilst I was watching this film, and just so that way I could lean over and be like, "Is that real? What are they talking about?
What's going on?
Is that possible?
Is this really?
How much of this is a stretch, like as far as information wise, like, and as far as that, like, what is the sea level of Africa? Just really get into it, I think that'd be really cool. I've always wanted to watch like a doctor's, like a medical TV show and have an actual, surgeon or nurse or something like that sitting with me and be like, "Oh, well, that's crap. And we never do that." Or "That's not how you do it."
Right. Exactly.
I wanted that for this film too.
Yes. So anyways, thanks everybody for showing up. I want to say hi to everybody. We got Dax. We got Dennis from Black Market Outpost. We got TD. We got CG artist Ron. That's great. We got Avery Cruz. We got who else? We got and that's about it. R2 says he is with us in spirit, but he won't be with us tonight because
he's having family. Yeah.
And I just got back with an awesome birthday party.
The most epic birthday party of 2021.
That's right. My kids, we did a Blippi theme. So, yay, Blippi. If you don't know who that is, that means you must not have kids.
You're very blessed if you don't know. I only know because I have a 1-year-old niece.
Oh, there you go.
Dax, I'm glad you're here. I did get your message. And thank you for being here since you have to get up early.
Yes. And then we got Phil. Hey, Dan, looking great, my dude. And hey, forgetting your name. So, hey, beautiful person. By Dan. Hi, Tabitha.
Phil, you go to college 1 week and you come back all snarky. I see how it is.
That's right. Dennis says Blippi is the man. Yes, he is. Hey, I know this is like way off subject, but about Blippi.
Typical.
Did you see that Blippi has another actor now? There's another Blippi guy. It's not the main guy who's been from forever. It's been like, I think, what was it, a couple of months ago, they tried out a new guy. And it's so weird. He almost looks like him. He almost acts like him, but it's not quite there. And you know what's funny? My daughter's like, "That's not Blippi."
Oh, kids know.
Yeah,
They know.
my daughter knows it's not Blippi. I go, "How do you know?" She goes, "Because Blippi's my boyfriend." I go, "No."
Starting young, Dan. What are they watching?
That ain't Blippi. It's so funny.
It's like when they phased out Steve from Blue's Clues and tried to place him with his cousin. It never works out.
It doesn't work out. It doesn't work out. Yeah, I mean, I understand why Blippi's probably, trying to get somebody else to take his spot a little bit here and there. He's not out completely, so that's a good thing. I just think maybe he's getting tired,
I'm pretty apathetic on the issue myself personally.
Doing that for such a long time, it gets tiring.
Yeah,
I'm sure. Anyways, welcome everybody.
Welcome.
Thanks for.
It was the pre-show.
Yeah, that was the pre-show of talking about Blippi. Cool.
We're talking about transitions. That's the connection.
That's right. My kids are a few years past that. I have not seen the new Blippi, but I'm gonna go look for him. Yeah, go look for it.
Why not?
It's funny.
Satisfy curiosity.
Oh, thank you, Phil, for liking my shirt. I know you should do more TMNT on your channel, man. Just saying. Your name is.
Your name is. Yeah, you already have it covered in the name.
Yeah.
Seems very knowledgeable.
Yeah, because you are knowledgeable on it, and would love to see some of that.
I think Phil should do his own music video based off of the second Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle scene with Vanilla Ice.
Yes.
Phil, we're counting on you.
Hey, sketchy guys here. What's up, Cameron? How you doing? Thanks for coming.
Cheers.
Middle-aged mutant ninja turtles. MMNT. I love it. Yes. That's me, middle-aged. Let's say my cat just hit the side of the laptop that has
and he meowed on Tabitha. Wow.
Dave from Whitey Wiki Workshop. What's up, Dave?
Yo.
I was to say, happy day I get to watch you guys. Yes, thanks, sketchy guy. You get to watch us.
Happy day that you are watching us.
That's right. And soon, hopefully, you'll be on the show next month sometime.
God bless your eardrums. Yeah. Well, Phil, I'm just trying to be encouraging, just.
Vader Reviews. Hey, buddy. The Empire greets you. Yes, Vader, thank you for joining us.
I saw one of his videos the other day. I just discovered him, and I was just like, this is brilliant.
He's
this
awesome.
Is great.
He's awesome. I'm still trying to get him on the show, and he wants to come on. Just he's busy, he says. But
hunting down Jedi, running the Empire, or at least being the side man. I mean, he's busy.
Yeah, making his what else? He's making his I can't think of it. Fan film. Yeah. Fan film.
And we're all excited.
And I'm waiting for that. That's pretty cool stuff.
Oh yeah.
That cat knows a beautiful woman when he sees one. Oh, was it talking about Tabitha and Phil's cat meowing?
Well, I hope he wasn't talking about you, Dan. I'm a little nervous with the beard.
hey, I'm pretty handsome myself,
Right, handsome, but not a beautiful woman. I'm sorry, you just don't qualify.
That's all right.
Maybe if you get that beard glitter, that they sell.
Oh, that'd be great. Cool. My brother says hello.
David.
Hello, peeps.
Oh, Phil,
right,
send it to me. I'll watch it.
What is it? Ewok hot dog cosplay. Oh, and he's singing. Oh,
I can only imagine.
And that's on TikTok, I think, right? Didn't he do that on TikTok?
I don't know.
Anyways,
I don't have.
Neither do I, but I think I saw him post it from TikTok onto his Twitter. I think it was. I don't remember. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Probably, most likely.
Sketchy guy. Pretty sure he called us all chicks. Yes. All right, so 2012. Oh, wait. I see another comment. Sorry, I didn't see it
Well,
earlier.
pause here for a commercial break.
Yeah, exactly. Commercial break. It's very encouraging that you guys are looking forward to the film. Yes, of course.
Yeah.
We'll set something up soon to talk, because if I wait until the film is complete, it will be quite a while. Okay. So yes, let's do it soon, and then we can hype up your film, and then people will be happy to want to watch it.
We will hype it up.
Yes, TD. I think we all have some strong disliking feelings toward TikTok, just because of the things we watch on Twitter. Not that TikTok's all bad, but you know.
Right. Just, you know.
All right,
it's not where I get it. Yes, 2012.
2012.
Not to be confused with 2021.
Yeah, that's right. And don't forget, www.insidetheboothtv.com. And get yourself some merchandise. You saw my beautiful neck gaiter on my face earlier when I said hello. And I looked like I was some alien from another planet. And then now I'm wearing it as a beanie. You can also get that. You can also get yourself a nice koozies, shirts, hoodies, whatever else. And this is a new camera, and it keeps like unfocusing and focusing. It's so weird.
Mine's been doing that too. Yeah.
Yeah. My contrast is not as nice as Tabitha's. I could tell. It's a little. Mine's more like, I don't know, like a fuzzy, not fuzzy, but you know, like more flat.
Right.
My blacks are not black. I don't know. Anyways, it's distracted me. Sorry, guys. I work with Photoshop sometimes, and you know, and videos and this stuff.
Well, I mean, I've got like two different lights. I've got gels. I've got a backlight. We got a whole production thing going on here, Dan. So,
maybe that's why it's better. And I got the Grinch behind me, smirking away.
Still got the Grinch right there.
I still got the Grinch. He's pretty cool.
He is.
So yeah, anyways, let's get to talking about 2012. I was going to say 2021. 2012. Which
same thing
has to do with 2021, right? The end of the year.
The way it's going.
You know, the end days are coming. So we'll start with the plot. I thought this plot was very interesting. I did not really think that this movie was a good... I don't know. It just didn't turn out good in film, in like a picture. And I don't know. It's just, you could talk about this kind of stuff, but it's really hard to interpret onto picture or film. I just don't. I don't know. It's basically everybody running away from
something
disasters, and these disasters happen, and some one lucky guy is like, whoa. He gets away scot-free, really close, every single time. Yeah, and saves his family, and almost saves his ex-wife's new husband, I think it was. So, I mean, and every single time it's like this close, you know, that he almost gets destroyed in a disaster somehow.
Yeah, I mean, you know, disaster movie. I mean, you are just waiting for literally one disaster. You go from one disaster to the next until you get to the main disaster, and then you know everything's okay.
Dax, we will have you on soon. I'll get you on here. Don't worry. You can make fun of me anytime. It might be actually some good comedy. People might
I was gonna say Dax had us
we'll have
last
like
week.
1,000 views in one night. You know, people will be
If he
watching.
can make me cry again.
Laugh so hard. That's right.
If you haven't seen that video from last week, A Knight's Tale, you should totally watch it just to know what we're talking about.
Yeah, that was pretty
No
funny.
spoilers. You have to watch it.
Yeah. And we're a couple of times it was pretty funny with V for Vendetta. Another kind of end time type style movie, you know? It's pretty crazy. We're
Well,
on a kick, I guess.
Been saying for years, you want to know what the future is, you look at usually you look at old sci-fi films from the 60s and 70s. Hey, Kaylee. Of course, V for Vendetta was not that far back, and neither is 2012. Of course, the whole thing is like with the end of the world, like the movies that get made for these types of things, there seems to be just this common thread throughout history where people apparently there's just something maybe built into, I don't know, the psychosis or whatever like that of the brain, where I guess humans as a civilization just expect an end at some point.
Yeah.
It seems like no matter what religion or absence of religion, there's this idea that it's all going to end at some time. And so there's usually a giant catastrophe among the civilization, whether it's the liberties that are taken away and we kind of fall into that, and we've, with weapons of mass destruction, or it's by natural disaster, like in this film, where, well, the neutrinos from the sun, as we mentioned earlier, and the Earth's core overheats and it separates, basically, it separated the land masses from the ground, right? Basically, like severed it from the main stemming to the Earth itself, and so then the landscape,
like the magnetic field broke or something like that. It's weird.
And that's what I'm saying. I would love to have a scientist sit there with me to kind of help.
The magnetic field broke, and now this Earth spins. So now, what was it? South.
Yeah,
basically, the South Pole was in like Florida or something. I don't know. It was weird.
Yeah, Africa moved to like the middle of the world or up higher or something like that. And we were all saved by Africa or something like that. But,
By the way, I want to give a shout out to everybody. My phone's blowing up here on Twitter. So thank you for sharing this. This is great.
Thank you. Mm-hmm.
Love you guys. You guys are great.
Maria. Dax, I see you comment in there. I get your jokes sometimes, Dax. I just sometimes I don't want to be honest. Like, that's just me. I try to, well, you guys, if you've been watching, there's just different preferences there. But Dax is a funny person for sure. And hey, Maria.
So cool. So I don't think I would give this plot a point. What about you, Tabitha? Did you like this movie? Would you give this a point? Would you want the end of the world to happen the way it happened in this movie?
I think those are two separate questions.
They're all different questions, aren't they?
Yeah, I know, right? Probably not. I mean, it just kind of like you were saying, like it just, the guy, you say he's average guy, but I got a little bit confused as to what John Cusack's character, like he wrote a book that kind of had to do a little bit with the end times because of the Mayan calendar and everything like that. But I don't really know what his role in the film as far as importance, like why did he survive? Why was he important to the whole thing?
He was.
Like,
I think
he was just a lucky.
Yeah, it was just a lucky
bystander
guy. Yeah. I think the thing is that because his book supposedly had something to do with like being a human and being kind to mankind, being a human basically, not being this evil government that says forget about everybody else, let's just take care of us, type of thing.
I thought that was more of what Woody Harrelson's character was. He was funny.
Woody Harrelson.
But yeah, I don't think I'd give it a point because it was kind of a weak plot in that instance, I
Yeah.
guess.
So,
Exactly.
I want to read
Dex.
this.
Sorry.
You want to read it real quick? I was just writing something down.
You know why I never worry about the end of the world predictions? Because God said he would come like a thief in the night, and we won't know when it is the time until we see the prophesied signs. Right.
That's right. That's right. Amen to that, Dax. Amen. Hallelujah.
Yeah. By the way, I just want to throw this in there quickly while we're talking about John Cusack's character and everything. I've seen so many parents struggle to get their children to the bus on time, to get them home on time, get to the plays, the soccer practice, get to church on time. But how is it in films like this that parents are able to get the kids out of the house, away from their friends or away from the breakfast table and travel all the way to China? And, they don't lose a single kid, like they're on time for everything. All of a sudden it's like the earthquakes are happening and the trees are falling down and it's like, come on, get in the car, and they finally get in the car like magic. But yet these kids can't get to school on time, I'm telling you.
Okay, look at what my brother said. To all my friends here
in
the voice of Arnold Schwarzenegger. I'll be back in September. See me later.
He gets a kick out of himself, doesn't he?
He does.
By the way, if you guys see David's little picture there, little icon, that was done by Sketchy Dude or Sketchy Man. What's his name?
Sketchy guy.
Sketchy guy. Wrong.
Sketchy
wrong
guy
type of
and
pronoun
V.
for dude.
And you can find his stuff on Sketchy Guy NV on YouTube. So he's got some cool drawings that he does. I like his style, his caricatures and stuff.
It's pretty fun to watch.
Oh, what's to say? Easy. Move or you are going to die. You little rugrats.
I don't know. I think I've heard parents say that to the children too when they're trying to get them on the bus. Still doesn't work. But that's that movie magic, yeah.
Yeah, I guess I enjoyed it, but it wasn't great. That's true.
Yeah.
I don't know if I even enjoyed it, though. I mean, in my opinion. Maria's opinion is different than mine, obviously.
When I first saw the trailer for this back in the day,
back in 2009,
I was curious about it, and because it was terrifying at the same time, because it's a reality that will come to pass in some ways, or even just natural disasters in their height in many ways, like back in Indonesia, like how many ever years ago and things like that, and Katrina and all of that. But I was too afraid to actually watch it at the time. I had to get a little bit older, and find a little bit more peace with God before I was able to watch something like this. And I'll tell you, the ending of the film was disappointing because this movie was so strange. This movie is very misleading. Like they're talking about the end of the world, right? The end of the world as we know it. But what they don't tell you is that they have an escape plan.
Yeah. It's so funny too, because they take a little bit of Noah's Ark into this movie, it's like a modern day Noah's Ark, but we want everybody to be there that's sciencey and not godly. Yeah.
And so something that kind of
everybody with faith died in this movie. Oh, we gotta pray, we got faith.
Do you notice that?
Yeah. And everyone with the science is like, well, we got an escape plan. Let's put all the animals 2 by 2 in the arcs of I don't know, of China. By the way, China was running this whole movie and this whole scenario. They ruled it all. Kind of like what's going on now. China's kind of taking over.
Say, all these people of the world, and they decided to build it in China. I don't think that would happen. I really don't. I think that would happen somewhere else. Like I don't know.
Like New Orleans tonight.
Exactly.
Yeah, I guess they should make some arcs, probably, huh? I don't know. Is that what is that comment what that's about?
Probably about natural disasters and things like that. But you know what's encouraging in this film, if you know about your Bible, is that something that really encouraged me. Like, this movie is hard to be encouraged by, let me put it this way. I mean, people are dying. Those 2 old ladies, that was awful when they hit that road that came up and they smashed their car into it. It's awful.
Oh, yeah.
But anyway, while I'm laughing and chuckling, but it's just, anyway, it was also, I'm laughing also because it was badly done. And we'll talk about that a little bit later. But when they were talking in the film, it's the people that
recently took a vacation to Yellowstone. And as we were driving through the park, I kept thinking to myself, we could blow up at any time.
He was looking for that crazy guy with the pickles in the woods.
Yeah. Woody Harrelson, I think he did a decent job. He did a decent job for what he had.
Oh, yeah.
I think he should have made it a little bit more out there. He wasn't as out there as I thought he was going to be.
Well, but I'm afraid that if he would have gone too much further with his character, like it just would have been too crazy for the movie. Like the movie kind of had some different vibes in some ways. Right. Like this isn't, a disaster movie, but at the same time we can chuckle and laugh about weird things. But yeah, just some people are able to make it, some people aren't. And like I said, just one little thing that kind of spoke to me was like when they were arguing about who gets to go onto the boats. Basically, at the end, you pay $1 billion for a ticket to save your life to go on.
And then they weren't even going to let him on,
right? And I was like, that's really sad that that's what they have to do. And I just want to encourage anybody out there, what all it takes, when to going to heaven, God is not a respecter of persons. It does not matter your status of your wealth, your health, your intelligence. You could be anybody in the world, and God is happy to accept you into the family and to save you from the turmoil of the end times. And so it's just like this movie, like, it's kind of reassuring to know that stuff doesn't matter. Like you could pay your $1 billion, but that doesn't mean you get to make it onto the boat,
That's right. What sketchy guys say there? Well, there's steam coming out of the ground in random spots, and I've never been there before. So he kept thinking, is that normal?
Yeah, I would be the same way. I mean, like, what is it probably. In Russia? Is it called the wall or the pit of hell or something like that? That place that's constantly on fire?
Whatever. Yeah.
Well, there was apparently an accident that released some kind of a chemical substance or whatever like that. This was like decades ago. And so now the fires can't be quenched, if you will. And so it's constantly, like just the heat and everything. It's just constantly little geysers of fire. So, yeah, I mean, for them, they'd be like, oh, it's normal. We would go over there and be like, where did I step into?
This is a little weird. Yeah. That's funny.
Especially if you've seen movies like this. You kind of can't help. Kind of like what sketchy guys say, and you're like, is this normal? Should this be happening? Should I be worried?
Yeah, I think you're Russian Mustafar.
I've heard that name. I can't think of what it is. Hang on.
Oh, you're gonna Google it. All right. While you're Googling it, I'm gonna move on to the acting.
Yeah.
The acting was okay. Just okay to me. It wasn't great acting. I understand it's like green screen. I was gonna say blue screen. Blue screen's back from like the 80s. Green screen. Oh. And I know it's hard to act to something that doesn't exist in front of you.
Yeah.
I mean, you would think that when the grocery store split in half and they're holding on to poles on the other side of each other, you would think, you'd be like screaming for the rest of your life, basically.
Oh, yeah.
And then when she called her kids home, she didn't even tell them why she called them home, and she's acting normal, in the situation of being home,
kind of weak.
Being like, and somebody like that would be freaking out and going, "All right, kids, this is what happened to me. I don't know what's gonna happen. This stuff is crazy. We just need to get out of Dodge,"
Well, that was the thing too. She didn't even tell her ex-husband, like, "Hey, this happened. I'm scared."
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
She just I just wanted my kids home early.
Yeah, thanks for bringing them home early. Well, from a baseball game. That's basically what it is. I mean, it was crazy.
Yeah, it was really weak for that. No,
Yeah.
you're right, Maria. I had to look it up, and as soon as I saw it, I'm like, of course, the Mustafar. It's Star Wars, where they
Oh,
fly. You can't.
Mustafar. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
When he
Oh,
said
yeah.
Russian Mustafar, it just kind of made us like, is that a real place?
Yeah.
threw me off. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Good one. That's right, Maria. Good one. Sarlacc pit. All right. Yeah, yeah. It's from
I
Star
think
Wars. Tabitha.
I think Danny Glover did a good job as president, though. Like he just kind of had good composure, kind of had an authoritative stance while still being concerned and not just apathetic about his own well-being and stuff
Danny
like
Glover's a good actor. I think he was probably the best actor out of all of them.
Yeah.
But at the same time, Danny Glover was Danny Glover. I don't think he really changes his acting style in movies. So that's another reason why, he just, to me, I was waiting for him to say, I'm getting too old for this shit. I was waiting for that. And that comes from, most people know it comes from Lethal Weapon movies. Yeah. So I was just waiting for it. I don't know why, but
because he's known for it. I mean, it's just kind of like Harrison Ford saying, like, I have a bad feeling about this. You just kind of,
yeah.
But I'm sure they didn't want to keep carrying that over. And I'm sure the actors, even though they're known for certain things, they're like, I don't want to do this again.
Right.
But yeah, the acting was, okay.
Yeah.
For some people, I thought Woody Harrelson did a good job.
Yeah, I thought he did okay.
He's such an interesting actor, because he can be so quirky but be so serious at the same time. And I just love when he opened the fridge. I never noticed that before. And I mean, like, pickled everything. So many pickles and beer. Like, that's all this guy was like. No wonder he was crazy.
He's eating pickles all day long.
We had like 7 to 8 jars of different variety of pickles. And then just kind of the beer hidden in between.
Right. Yeah. Oh, well, I guess I don't give acting a point just because I didn't really enjoy it that much. I don't know. I think it could have been the style of the movie too, And to be honest, this was my first time watching this movie.
Oh, okay.
Back in 2009 when the movie came out. Mm-hmm. I had no interest at all. It looked so dumb. Unlike you, you thought it looked interesting. Me, I thought it looked really stupid, and I was like,
okay. Well, you were old. You are older than me, so you had a different mindset probably when you were looking at it. Having experienced different films, maybe like this or something like that. You probably saw beyond what I just saw at face value.
Right.
I kind of have a hard time. I think I'll give this. I'm going to use David's system here and give it a half point. Basically, because of the fact that the good actors did a good job, the other actors not so much.
Right.
Again, like I think how do you say it? I looked up how to pronounce his last name. Ejiofor. I think he did a good job. I think he's a good actor, and of course, then there's Danny Glover and Woody Harrelson, and they're
right,
alumni of the acting. So I think those three did a really great job. Everybody else, they were there.
Yeah, I like what Dax says. Samuel Jackson. I'm getting tired of the M&F earthquakes on this M&F apocalypse.
Pretty much.
Yes, yeah. I think Samuel L. Jackson being president would have been funny. I think it would have been.
Well, like you said, this movie
into a comedy.
Have you ever seen The Day After Tomorrow?
I'm not sure.
That's where it's another catastrophe film, but where everything freezes over.
Oh, okay.
It has Dennis Quaid in it and Jake Gyllenhaal in it back when he was first starting. And that movie, that was a lot more serious and I think a little bit more believable. This film, it just kind of, it was funny in some place. It was almost like they were trying to make a Marvel movie, like a disaster film into a Marvel, like had these little quips here and there, but it's like, but the sky was falling and, volcanoes erupting, but there's like, oh, but we have time right here for a little quick insert of a joke. It's like, now's not the time.
Right. I like Avery Cruz. 2012 was a crazy summer. Yes, it was. especially if your summer consists of 2012, the movie. I think I've had friends that watched the movie 2012 in 2012. I think what was the date? It was supposed to be 12/21/2012. I think
Yeah.
that's what it was supposed to be. And some people actually believed it might have happened. So funny. Vader Reviews says Christopher Lee said it's better to stand out in a mediocre film rather than be adequate in a great film, because people will remember if you're the best part of a crappy movie.
This is true. I've seen some pretty crappy movies, but you're like, man, that one actor, he did such a great job.
Yeah. And they do stand out, that's for sure.
And I do love me some Christopher Lee. Yes.
Nice.
So half a point for me for the acting.
All right. What's it say? Supercell storms that
freezes everything. That was in The Day After Tomorrow. I like that film.
Yeah.
As sad as it is.
Yeah. I don't know. Honestly, I'm not sure if I've seen that one.
Okay. I think that one
I
was
guess I'll have to
much better.
watch it now.
It was well made.
Good. So now we're at cinematography. You go first, Tabitha, on that one.
Okay. Cinematography, does that cover like the green screen and everything?
Yes, it does. It covers all graphics and everything because it's on the film when you watch it.
I can't really think of at the moment. I can't think of an outstanding film that came out in 2009 in comparison. But I just have this vague recollection of other movies being made back then where this like the green screen was much better done. Like
of course.
Better well. I can't get my words out. I'm sorry, guys. Like when the Earth
even
was cracking.
2003 was they had some movies in 2003 that the graphics were better.
Like when we have an overhead view of the limousine trying to bypass the cracks in the ground and the cars and the bushes and stuff. Like it was like a video game. It did. It looked like Frogger or something like that.
And the cars bouncing and stuff.
Like even it. I don't know what the budget was for this film. I didn't do a lot of research into that. Like if this was a very low grade film, like this was great. But I don't think it was. I think this was a film that was supposed to be something. Who made this film? Was it I'm going to have to look that up. But it just, for that, I was surprised how disappointed I was when I saw that.
Directed by Ronald E. Emmerich. Okay. Emmerich. Emmerich. I don't know how to say his name. But that's what it's directed by.
But I also noticed that especially in the beginning, there were so many cutscenes. Like we'd barely started the film and like all these scientists pop out of nowhere and they're going underground in India. And I mean, like we're cutscene. Like they had one moment where they dragged the camera and then it was just cutscene. Yeah. And then they seemed to like calm down. It was just like, okay, it's not.
I think they tried to make it look like the movie was going fast so that
really
you wouldn't get bored. Yeah.
But I mean, the movie just started. We wouldn't have had a chance to get bored. But like you think about movies like Jurassic Park and how really they still stand this test of time in comparison. That's like another thing to compare to. It's like you've got Jurassic Park made in what was it, 94? Something like that. And then you have 2009 in comparison, and it's just laughable.
Yeah.
So I don't give it a point. I love also when not on this, and when Woody Harrelson's character gets like blown away on the mountain, it was such a computer game, like the way that it was done. That's what it reminded me of when computer games started coming out, where they blended live action with graphics. That's what that looked like to me, which is really sad for, a film of this magnitude.
Yeah. Vader Review says Jurassic Park is one of my favorite films of all time.
Oh,
it is. Too. It definitely is.
I mean, it scared the bejeebies out of me, but when I was little.
It's
And
even
today
better
it's
than
still
Jurassic Park 2, Jurassic Park
oh,
3, you know, and
although I
then the
do like
Jurassic
a lot, I
World
do like the
movies.
Lost World. I may say that one's my
Did you like
favorite
that?
just because I do like Jeff Goldblum. I really like that film, and I think he and
But he was in the first one too.
I
So
know, but we got to see more of him in the second one, and I think him and Julianne Moore worked really well together. But I like both of them. I would say that I lean more towards. It's kind of like this. Like Lost World is just a hair above Jurassic Park for me.
really,
I like
jeez.
both of them though. Oh, of course,
Score
the
in that
score
movie
is
was
amazing. John Williams did the music, of course.
yeah. Yeah, so the cinematography for me is also under par, I believe. It's just it didn't half of it didn't look real. Half of it
Yeah.
looked like they didn't finish the graphics. They didn't render it out properly. And maybe they were just doing it fast. I don't know. I don't know what they were doing. I mean, I'll give them a little bit of leeway. It was 2009, and maybe they were, there's a lot of buildings crumbling down around them. So, some of them graphics are a little bit more difficult to render out.
Star Wars was more believable. Like A New Hope, their explosions were more believable. That's because they did them on little, little models.
Pola says nuclear bombs obtaining metal satellites and dinosaurs
are fantasies.
Yes. Okay. Don't know where that was going.
Well, nuclear bombs aren't really a fantasy. I mean, they do exist.
But you know what was funny though? What was funny was that what was it, Yellowstone place? Mm-hmm. All the fire happened. It did look like a nuclear bomb hit after.
I noticed that.
The nuclear bomb came from underground and did a thing. It was really bright, and Woody Harrelson's going, "It's beautiful." And then there was like a shock wave, like something exploded. Yeah. But I don't know. It was I don't know. It was weird.
Well, and that going back to the acting, like the mom with her children just stared at this ginormous, I mean, we're talking a ginormous volcano eruption here, right? Like Dan said, like a nuclear explosion, and they're just standing there, and she's just holding her kids, and they're just watching it. Now, I get the first initial shock value, but then they just stay there. It's like...
Yeah, I think they were trying to wait for the dad to come.
I know, but if you see an explosion, would you? I mean, if you got your two children here, like even try to just put them in the plane or something.
Back to acting, this has something to do with cinematography. The other guy there, what was his name? The
Gordon?
The other dad. Whatever.
The stepdad.
Yeah, the stepdad or whatever.
Yeah, I think his name was Gordon.
When he's trying to fly this plane, and he goes, "Oh well, I've only flown a plane twice, but I've never flown a plane this big," But yet he's so calm, and he goes, and he's like flying. Oh, I got it! Yay! Yeah. Yay! I'm flying. Oh, this is my first time. Oh, where was the scared look on his face? Like, holy crap! I'm gonna die. I don't know what I'm doing. Type of thing. And instead of being like, I did get it. Oh, that's great.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like they try to put some kind of like this humor or this chillness to it, and it's like there's like a volcano.
It looked so fake. It was so fake.
The other thing is too, as far as the directing, maybe that goes with the plot, is the fact that when they went into Yellowstone just at the beginning with the dad, the two kids. Number one, it's bad enough that he took them into a zone that had been blocked off. I get that. People do things, whatever. But the fact that he actually took his children onto a taped off section of the lake where things were bubbling. Yeah. The ground was bubbling. There was a dead deer or elk or something like that. It was mutilated. It was melting. And he's literally taking his children through that section.
Yeah, Avery Cruz. That's the face.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's going to show up here. That's the little face of. That's what I was looking for, And the guy's
what
face.
Dad does that? Even if you're curious, you don't take them to the middle of a lake that's boiling and shooting stuff out and killing animals. If you're going to look at it, you go around it, but don't take your kids right into the middle of it.
Exactly.
This is probably why she
Let's
divorced.
check it out. Let's walk in the hot water with the melting deer.
Yeah. I didn't get that at all. That was the first thing I figured. Like I saw that, I'm like, no. This is true. This is true.
Yes, all kids want to see mutilated dead elk. Kids are curious.
Oh, yes, they are.
They are curious.
So yeah, no point for me for cinematography. To circle back there.
Okay, yeah. Sorry. Getting back to cinematography. It's the same thing for me. They're just because these graphics don't stand the test of time, and it just looked really bad. Let me just say this at the end, kind of end. The whole he has this like he's got a wrench that looks like an arm. It's a huge wrench, right? As hooked to a cable, and that's what stops the door from closing or something. I don't know. It was just goofy, and it's the whole suspense thing.
It wasn't really there.
The whole movie, like, okay, I get it. Like the first couple scenes or something.
Yeah,
the suspense, great.
You don't know
maybe not have some suspense, and then maybe have some suspense, and maybe not. But they did it throughout the whole movie. And that door, the door's got to close or else we're going to crash right into this mountain. And we're all going to die, you know? We got to figure out what's going on. Then they go swimming underneath and, there's the thing, the cord wrapped around. That's what it's doing it. Oh, my goodness. I don't know, man. I don't know, my people. It's just, and then coming back, swimming back to the other spot, you know. He was just behind me. More suspense. Wait a minute, we just had the suspense with the door. What's going on?
But wait, there's more.
There's more suspense. And then there's that suspense of the ship hitting the mountain. Here's the mountain. Here's the ship. Going slow. And then they back up. We made it.
I like that they back up. Like, I don't. It's like you just gear shift. You know, well, just turn this ginormous submarine around real quick.
I don't know. It was goofy. It was like, and these things looked like they were supposed to be like spaceships at first, and then the kid's like, "Why are there anchors on this thing?" Well, it's not a spaceship, son. It's a boat. I mean, come on. Okay, so we got Noah's Ark, and then at the end of this thing just irritated me. You know, the whole Africa. Africa was the only place that did not flood. The only place. It kind of tells me this. It tells me this. Now, this is kind of looking deeper into this whole plot thing. But Africa, you know, Egypt is in Africa, right? Egyptians worship the sun god. Oh, the sun god, right? And in Egypt, that's where they held all the slaves. So now Africa is the only place that didn't flood because Egyptians who worship ungodly things are the ones who are saved. I don't understand that at all. Why would they put that in this movie? Probably because it's a Illuminati movie. That's what I'm just saying. Just saying this movie's Illuminati.
I would not have gone there.
The hills are alive to the sound of screaming.
No, yes. I like what Vader said a few comments up there. He's like, Billy Mays here. Billy Mays here for the apocalypse, but wait, there's more. I can hear him saying that. Like, oh, wait, there's more. If you act now, you'll only get a free scrubby.
The boat backs up.
Oh my gosh. I didn't think about that. My mind tried to go I try to go like a scientific route. Like I was saying earlier, you know, what is the elevation of Africa? Maybe they mentioned it in the movie. What, the continent of Africa, is it above the
Oh, there
rest?
we
Is
go.
that why it made
Right there.
it? Oh,
So,
because
it says-
Wakanda
is a very good part of Africa. The Wakanda has some security measures in place. That's right. And they Wakanda forever. Yes, and not only do they have security, but they got the technology. They got that bubble that's around them that makes them
They were
look
behind
like
it
they're
all.
not there. Yeah, that's why Africa survived.
I don't know if I can get on board with your theory there, Dan, because there's a lot of religions that worship the sun. So I'm just like, I don't know where he's going with this, but hey, there were a lot
Not
of
the SON, the SUN.
yes, I know.
The Eye of Ra. You get it?
I know. Okay, Stargate fan here. Of course, I know.
The Eye of Ra.
But I mean,
you know how they do this thing.
The Mayans and the Aztecs worshipped the sun. I mean,
yeah,
I think
they were part of the Illuminati thing. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but they weren't part of Africa, so why didn't they make it?
I don't know. Because that's not where it didn't originate there. It originated.
Oh, so we're going for origins. Well, I thought it was interesting. Again, there could be these subtle nuances in there and just little subtle things. Did you notice that, of course, number one, they made the governor of California, they made him Arnold Schwarzenegger for whatever reason.
2012.
That was interesting how they actually made the governor Austrian, and he was a former actor, because he mentions, even though this is not, I've been in many movies, and then they cut the thing off. And I was like, so why did they decide to make that Arnold Schwarzenegger? And then secondly, a lot of people talk about how they wish that California would just
go off the face of the earth. But
go off the face of the earth.
Yeah, but if you think about it, Arnold Schwarzenegger going on the side of the elites, look at it, in there, he's on TV lying to everybody, saying everything's going to be fine, everything, don't worry. And that's what the elites do. That's what the Illuminati does. That's what the Democrats do. The devil worshippers,
I mean, yeah,
look at CNN, MSNBC. They're all lying to us.
I just want to know, this movie it's made in Hollywood and all this kind of stuff. Was there a reason why they decided to literally make California fall into the ocean? Everybody's like, I wish California just fall into the ocean. They actually did that. Was there a reason for it? Was that a kind of joke?
Yeah, but then
they just wanted
everybody
to
fell into the ocean, Well,
I know, but they started with California as far as that. Right. I just thought that was interesting. I'm like, people joke about that. Was there some animosity that the director had for this film, and he was like, I'm sure.
Well, maybe he was going with how some of the Christians believe that because Hollywood is Sin City or something like that, and
that's Vegas.
God will strike them down first, So maybe
I don't know.
Well, let's make it look like they're striking them down first. All that sin over there.
I don't know. They made the religious people look like idiots in this film, so I don't know if they'd really make it look.
Yeah, let me pray. And they all did the Catholic thing.
Well,
even the Christians.
I just
Christians don't do that Catholic thing usually.
Well, right, unless you're part of the Catholic Church, right? Yeah, denominations don't follow their different whatevers. But I just, it just kind of just goes to show, of course, that whenever there's a desperate time, people turn to religion, and it's just, it's just unfortunate that they decided to make the religious people look like idiots. They literally just stood in the square in Spain, I think it was, or was it in Italy? It was in Italy, and they just stared at all the destruction coming around them. They didn't try to run. That one guy with his wife and his son, he just held them nearby as the dome of the building came hurtling towards them. And again, what is with these parents keeping their children in harm's way? Run!
Run, yeah.
Run.
That's so funny. I like Vader. Vader reviews. Lex Luthor fired his rockets at the fault line when no one was looking. That's why California sunk into the ocean. That's why it went first. Thanks, Lex Luthor. Thanks.
But again, I don't know what the science behind the film is. I don't know. Judging, not trying to be mean, I guess, but judging by how poorly the script was written, the cinematography was pretty bad. I want to give it the benefit of a doubt and say that what if the scientists, what was the science behind this film? Was there a reason why California, had as much, we know that a lot of earthquakes and things like that happen in California. So was there a reason why the West Coast was so, why it was demolished so badly, or I don't know. I want to give it the benefit of the doubt. Like I said, I don't know any scientists. Well, I know chemical engineers, but I don't know if that qualifies. I don't think they'll know anything about the climate. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Sorry. Dax says, Dan, you may need to manually set the focus on your camera. I think it's autofocusing keeps trying to lock out the grid behind you.
That's very possible.
Yes, and I see that I'm pretty fuzzy, even though I'm closer to the camera, which is pretty bad. Here, Grinch.
Gots to go.
Go lay down for a minute. Let's see if it
Take
helps.
a nap. Christmas is right around the corner. Don't worry, you've got time.
Yeah, you'll come back. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why the camera's doing this. I didn't read any instructions, and I think I threw the box away already. I'm going to have to look it up online. Check it out. See if something... This is a new camera, by the way, because I thought, Tabitha looks 10 times better. Mine is not as good. So I bought a slightly more expensive camera than I have. And yeah, it's working slightly better, I guess. I don't know. Let me back up a little bit, maybe.
Well, like I said, with mine, and thanks to the person who got me one. Appreciate it. Yeah. You have to regulate it in something else, like the default setting makes it look like, even when I first had this camera, my newer camera here, the default settings didn't look that fantastic. I had to manually do stuff.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna have to check it out. I'm not sure if my computer will be able to hold something other anything else. But yeah. Anyways, let's see here. After you've gotten focus in the first place. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Sorry about that, everybody. I know it's pretty annoying. I was trying.
It goes with the theme, the destructive, the drama, like what's happening to Dan. He's in focus. We're losing him. Now he's in focus. The suspense, right? The suspense. Yeah.
Does that work? Is my hand in focus?
Wait, let me come around the other side. The Illuminati.
The Illuminati. Oh man. That was good.
Couldn't miss the opportunity.
Yeah. So anyways. That 2012 started because of Dan's camera. Yes.
It was prophesied that this day would come.
That's right. Okay, thanks, Dax. It's not that bad, he says. It does annoy me, though. I don't know why.
We're not used to it either. So.
Yeah. So since I don't know if I said if I liked the cinematography or not, but obviously I'm not going to give it a point. Let's go on to the music.
I don't give the music a point either. I'm just going to cut to the chase. There was nothing spectacular about this musical score, so no point for me.
Didn't the chase of the earth crumbling away make it
Which part
better though?
Which time?
The whole movie. The whole thing. I don't know, but I don't think they even stopped the music throughout this movie.
They did.
I think it was
they did. I paid attention. There were some times, when when the president is talking, when Danny Glover's character decides to go and pray, or
Oh,
to
that's when
not
it
go
stopped.
on.
That's right.
Like there were certain moments when the science was hitting. That's when they decided to stop the music, and then all of a sudden, when John Cusack's character comes on, cue the music.
Right.
I think he was the maestro. He
Something
came on and was like,
bad's gonna happen.
yeah.
Anyways, yeah, I don't give it a point either. I don't think it was that spectacular. Definitely was not John Williams music.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Or Danny Elfman or Howard Shore, anybody of
Or
any
Hans
ability.
Zimmer.
Hans Zimmer.
Those
No,
people.
no offense, dude, whoever did this music, just saying.
Yeah, just saying it wasn't the best. Sorry. So now we go to the allegory. Well, we've kind of been talking about this whole thing as an allegory, so yeah, we can keep talking about it now. I miss classic style film scores with memorable themes. Yes, me too. Me too.
Mm-hmm.
Every once in a while, you might get it in a movie, but not as much anymore. I think, honestly, I don't know. I think the whole Marvel Cinematic Universe thing kind of screwed all that up. Because nothing's memorable in there either, as far as I'm concerned.
Well,
I mean, they're good movies.
Right.
You know, don't
that's
get me
because
wrong,
Iron Man
movies,
stole AC/DC, you know, so it was like already music that everybody was familiar with, you know. So.
No offense, but you suck. Who, me?
Right.
Yes.
To paraphrase Tabitha, yeah, to the composer, yeah. Please don't take offense. Yeah, don't take offense, but I hate what you've done.
This movie, and like I said, this movie was just a bad idea. That's all. They tried throwing some things together, and it just didn't work. You know, just a bad idea altogether. It just didn't work out. You have, like I said, you have Noah's Ark in there. You got some Illuminati in there. You got all Christians dying in there, and you also have the Chinese people running the show. Kind of sounds like what's going on today. Get the vaccine, you Christians. Listen to the pastor that has no church, that you couldn't find a church for, on the CDC website.
Oh, okay.
That pastor
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Oh, you didn't see that yet? There's this like on the CDC website there, they have this pastor going, "Oh, I think it's, our duty as Christians to get the vaccine because Jesus would want us to get the vaccine." That's what he said. And I'm like, yeah, that makes me not want to get the vaccine even more.
Like, don't be throwing Jesus in there. Yeah, like it's again, it's your choice, you know. I mean, if you want to get it, you get it. If you don't, you don't. Jesus is pretty pro-choice in many ways, as long as it's in accordance with. Well, even if it's not in accordance with God's word, Jesus, God is all about choices. Like he allows us to have that choice, whether we want to do or do not do something.
Right there. Jesus was the vaccine. Yes, he was, and he still is. Was Isaiah 53 say? He was bruised for our transgressions.
He was wounded for our transgressions. He was bruised for our iniquities.
And
surely
by his stripes, we are healed. That's right. Or in some case, we were healed. So that means 2,000 years ago is when we got healed. So we should be living our best healthy life now. Just believe. Believe it. Receive it.
Like in the Lego movie. I know it sounds like a cat poster, but you gotta believe.
That's right. That's right. That's right, Tabitha. That's right. Just gotta believe. Yeah. Yes. Avery Cruz, 100% agree. Hold on, let's go up one. Dax was talking about Jurassic Park, Star Wars, Close Encounters, E.T., etc. No one does scores like that anymore.
No.
Sadly, not.
Well, and kind of
Sadly.
like when we had talked about the sequel Star Wars films, I was really surprised that even though John Williams did the music for that,
Yeah.
it wasn't memorable. I do not
No.
remember. That's because they basically just like many
They
elements
reused
of the
a few
films.
of the, yeah.
They used Princess Leia's theme, they used the Star Wars theme and Luke Skywalker's theme, and so of course we remember those. But that's because they weren't anything new. Not like
Right,
in
it gave a little nostalgia, but at the same time, because
I mean, the
movies,
prequels to me had some of the best music.
oh yeah,
for Star Wars.
Yeah, because it was all new. I mean, I think
And it was
George
intense.
Lucas, George Lucas had some familiar sounds, but I think he wanted new. I think he wanted it.
And I'm just really surprised that didn't happen for the sequels. Like, this was really a moment. I think, honestly, as far as like even for TV shows, nobody seems to have like that memorable music, like like the X-Files. Everybody's like do 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 do. Like, you just always use these things for like memes and stuff like that. Like, it's memorable. I think The Mandalorian might a little bit. I think it's good original music, but I still don't know if it's ever going to compare to what we've used to have.
Yes, in the sequel, they should have used the Mary Poppins theme. Yes. I don't know if anyone's done it yet, but I want to see someone put that Mary Poppins theme in when Princess Leia goes.
Oh my gosh! Yeah, that was.
I mean, what was up with that, anyways? I mean, I understand she's using the Force or something. Couldn't she have like when the ship was gonna get blown up, then use the Force like this, and then like maybe stop it or make some
that
kind
would
of
have been
force field? That would have been
more
cooler,
believable.
Yeah, exactly. Not where everybody gets sucked out and they're all dead, and then all of a sudden you see this half dead lady go.
I was surprised. Like, I'm familiar with a lot more Star Wars things than some of my friends, and I went to go see this film with some friends who knew a little bit about Star Wars, and they were like, "What is going on?" And I told them, like, "Okay, that was basically, it was like, that was stupid, but I think what they were trying to convey was that Leia was Force sensitive, because they had no idea, because they don't really." In the original movies, they don't really, you follow that in the comics and things like that. And like, Leia was Force sensitive. She actually trained to be a Jedi. I was like, but this was like overstepping a boundary somewhere. Like, this came out of nowhere and just made it really confusing.
There you go. Yeah. They were trying to make Leia look like the god on the Sistine Chapel. Speaking of that, all the Catholics on the Sistine Chapel of this movie, in the Sistine Chapel, it split right in between God and man. So that conveys something, right?
Was that the one where I was saying where the parents just stood there with their son as the thing toppled towards?
Yeah, I think so. I think so.
Oh.
Those were not Force powers.
I think they're getting too lenient with what the Force is able to do these days.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's just, I mean, sure, some of it, some of it are good ideas, some of it's cool, but then some of it's just kind of ridiculous.
But you can't surprise people with such a maneuver like that. Like,
no, exactly.
Especially
something like that. I think it would have been cooler if she did like some kind of force field, or
that would have been amazing. And it would have been believable. Like, people be like, "Oh, she can use the Force." This other thing was like, what is she doing?
Yeah, exactly. I actually thought maybe it was like some kind of magnetic beam. Oh, let's get her. We got her.
I thought, honestly,
like in
that
Spaceballs, the ship goes underneath.
I thought that was how they were going to do off Princess Leia, because I knew that they were trying to kind of get rid of the original characters to make way for the new. I thought that's what's going to happen. So when
the coolest thing ever to die
her
like
eyes,
that,
when her eyes opened, I was like, "What?" Yes, exactly, Vader. Yeah.
What? Read it.
He said, oddly enough, Han's quote from The Force Awakens really applies to a lot of the sequel films. That's not how the Force works. It's so true.
That's funny. Man, oh man, oh man. I don't know how we got into Star Wars, but
I don't know. Oh, musical score. So I don't give a
yeah.
point for music because what
I
for?
thought we were past that, but yeah.
Oh, okay.
I think you already said that one.
Oh, did we go to the? Was it the allegory then? I don't know.
Yeah, we're on the allegory. We're still just chatting away because the allegory.
I don't know if I want to give the point to the like for the overall for the film, it just wasn't the greatest film. So even giving the allegory, like it just kind of I feel like the allegory even like goes along with the plot. Like what for?
Right. I mean, there is a allegory, I guess, because it's the end of the world, and we're talking about the if you look in the Bible when it talks about the end times, it has somewhat similar things, but then it's got like the end of what happened when God destroyed the earth the first time,
Right.
with water. You got the arcs, so that's just it. It's kind of like watching. You saw the movie Noah, right?
The one with Russell Crowe.
Yeah.
Oh.
That was the stupidest movie I've ever seen.
I was upset. They made Noah the bad guy. I'm like, where did that come
you know what's funny? You know what's funny? Every time I see this, okay, have you seen VeggieTales? I forget which movie it was. No. I think it was the second movie that they made, and then you got the rock monster comes in and helps them or whatever, and then they have that one song, the rock monster, rock monster, right? Every time I see, every time actually this was before I had kids. I liked these movies, so hey, I'm a kid myself. So anyways, that every time I see something like a rock monster or something that goes on in a movie, that song just pops in my head, and I go, somebody needs to make a collage of that song being played during all these rock monster. I mean, even in Lord of the Rings, they got the rocks throwing things at each other.
The giants,
the rock monster, So I just think it would be the funniest thing in the world. I want to do it, but at the same time, I don't know if I can do it. I think somebody should do it.
I was gonna say, go ahead, Dan, make it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So it's just funny.
I think the movie has, a lot of allegories. I guess just because I didn't really enjoy the film, it's like I don't want to bother with it. But I think, something, kind of interesting is the fact, kind of like what you were saying. It's like, it's a whole Noah's Ark thing. But this is, again, where the movie's misleading. You think it's about the end of the world. And that was what got my attention. I wanted to know from a secular, from a worldly, however you want to say it, standpoint, a non-religious standpoint, how would they end the world? What is their idea of ending the world? But then they trick you.
I don't think they have a thing for it.
Because it would be too depressing then. So then they trick you, and so they do actually save people. They do save the world in a respect as far as some people made it so they could repopulate the earth. So they basically cheat death and cheat the end times.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's kind of
it's
never
cheating. Gonna happen.
And so I guess you could
cheating. You will never win.
You could maybe see an allegory in that is that, if you don't have Jesus, you don't have hope. And so nobody wants to dwell on an end. And so it's kind of like this movie. It's like, okay, well, there's an end coming, but don't worry. We'll still make it. We'll still figure it out. And of course, that's what you do if you want to live in denial of things that are, prophesied to come. I don't know when that's going to happen, but there's going to be an unpleasant ending for some people, and for some people there won't. And so, like I said, anytime you see a disaster film made by Hollywood, there's always some kind of salvation at the end of it for all of mankind, no matter what your creed is, no matter your religious state, and all this kind of stuff. So I guess I would kind of look at it from that perspective, but again, there is hope. There is, God doesn't care what you look like, where you come from, what your status is. He gives you that $1 billion ticket for free. So
that's right. That's because he died on the cross.
Right.
Sent his son to die on the cross for all our sins.
Right.
All right, so we got I like what Vader says here. I forgot about that Noah movie. Hollywood should never try to make biblical movies.
That
You know
that
what's
movie
funny?
made me mad, to
The
be honest.
reason why they made that movie, right, um, was because the Passion of the Christ did so well and made so much money. So they thought, well, if Bible movies can make a lot of money, let's make Bible movies, our own
Right.
Bible movies. But the thing is that they didn't stick with making Bible movies. They stuck with making crappy pretend Bible movies. I don't know what the heck their problem was. And then there's that one Moses movie. I forgot the name of that one with Christian Bale. I think it was, right? He was Moses.
Oh,
Uh,
it
and
was
he
based
said
off
that
of the Ten Commandments movie, basically, with Charlton Heston or something like that.
no, I don't think it was because this movie was really bad. It was kind of like that Noah movie.
Oh,
It was really bad. They
well,
really kind of made fun of biblical people, or
yeah.
took way too much leeway to say, oh well, Moses was schizophrenic. That's why he
Oh,
was the way he
but from what I
was.
understand, the Noah movie wasn't it like a mixture between the Bible and was it Latter Day Saints? Was it Mormonism or
I
something like that?
You
I
got
want to
me. I have
say
no
it was
idea.
like a mixture of religions, so that's why it was confusing and not like what. Oh, Exodus. Okay, I never saw that. Yeah. I told you before, Dan, I'm really not into watching
Exodus, yeah.
religious films because they tend to be infuriating because,
Well,
they'll,
especially
you
when
know,
Hollywood makes them. Yeah, of course. I
yeah.
mean, the chart back in like the 50s and stuff when Charlton Heston was doing like Moses and all that stuff. It was a different time period. They did
They
actually
weren't
make
pushing an
biblical.
agenda.
Yeah, they were actually
Yeah.
making a movie about the Bible. Which
With
that's
some
why
liberties to
people.
it.
Well, yeah, some liberties,
Yeah,
but
some liberties.
that's why a lot of people like those movies.
Yeah.
I like this. As Christians, we don't fear the end. We don't hasten
Hasten.
it. Hasten it. We just
Don't
don't
fear
fear
it.
it. That's true. That's because we know who we are in Christ. Yeah, Exodus with Christian Bale was horrible. Even Vader Reviews says that. Um, like Dak says, but that is highly weird. Highly weird.
I've never
They
heard that
can't
before. That's
ever
funny.
stick to the actual story. They have to change things. Yeah, that's true. That's
Yeah.
true. I mean that I mean you see what they're doing, what Disney's doing with everything now. I mean even though Marvel was doing good for a while after sadly what's his name that died? What is his name?
Uh, uh, Chadwick Boseman.
No, the other one. The guy who
Oh,
created it.
oh, Stan Lee.
Stan Lee. After Stan Lee died, they started doing some weird things to Marvel. And then now look at what they're doing, They're making it all woke. They're changing. I mean, I don't have you seen the What If series?
I
They're
haven't
strange.
yet. Um, but I have a lot of things to watch, and I don't like to branch out too many different ways. Like I always just kind of go back and watch my Stargate, watch my Star Trek SG-1, or like I just
All right, so we got Dak saying, Tabitha, I have a list of great religious themed movies you should watch. Some are really, really good. And there
some.
are some that are really,
Yeah,
really
I'm
good,
sure some that are really good. It's just never been
Dax,
to be
just
honest, my interest.
if you send us a list, maybe we'll do a couple of them.
There you
And
go.
obviously, Tabitha will have to watch them because
Yeah. I mean, I've seen
she's
some
part of
movies
Inside the
like
Booth
Left
now.
Behind, Courageous, Fireproof, and things like that.
Left
Um,
Behind. Oh, don't get me started on that one. Go. Hey,
I'm
you know
just
what?
saying
In
I have
April,
seen. I'm just
right?
saying I have seen religious
Everybody,
films.
in April, we had a theme called the Apocalyptic Month, and we actually reviewed that movie Left Behind. Let's go check it out.
There you go.
What If was an actual comic? Oh, really? Okay, well, I didn't know that. But I don't know. It's just weird. I I guess my preference, I don't like it that much.
I've
There's
only
some
seen
things that are interesting, but
snippets. What is it, Agent Carter, where she is, yeah, basically, I guess, Captain England, Britain. I don't know, because
yeah,
she's got the English flag on there, the Union Jack on her. But I don't know. I was watching a review from RevKev, and he said, you like the art style, and some things were kind of weird, but overall, it wasn't terrible. And I think the problem that we have nowadays, too, is that you could have something like that, and we are so polluted now with the idea of wokeism that we
yeah,
can't really view even good stuff. Like, let's just say this whole What If series isn't woke. Like, it's literally just
right.
what if, but we
Like
can't
Ron
look
is
at
saying,
it. Yeah, we can't look at it
saying from
anymore.
77 to 84 is when the comics came out.
Yeah, and see, a lot of people, when you don't know that, like I've even seen that on Twitter and stuff like that, where something will come out and they're like, "Can you believe this? Like, I can't believe the crap that Marvel's coming up with." And some big fan will say, "Well, this actually happened in 19 whatever in the comic book series." But if we don't know that, because we're so tainted now by wokeism, we just automatically assume they're trying to change the narrative of the story. It's really sad. I have wanted to watch God's Not Dead, Dax. I just never have gotten around to it. But I'm actually interested in watching that film. I do like Kevin Sorbo.
Kevin
Hercules.
Sorbo plays atheist. He said it was one of the most difficult roles he's ever
I'm sure. Because if it goes against your
religious views,
character, your religious views, yeah.
Okay, Ron says he thinks the last one came out in October 2018. The last What If comics, I'm guessing.
Oh, okay.
Did you see how they lost their mind on the
White Black Panther?
Panther What If post? Yeah, like if you change the two characters around, like they did, Chad Boswick, whatever
Chadwick
his name.
Boseman,
yeah. He played Star-Lord in which I thought that one was decent. I didn't mind that, but I didn't really like the idea that Star-Lord was like, oh, everybody liked him. Oh yeah, oh Star-Lord, yo, beat me up, Star-Lord. Oh, that's great, I just thought that was kind of stupid, like, okay, yeah.
Well, that's the thing too, like the
but
the
yeah, if they switched, and
but the thing is, why does it always
have
to be switched from black to white? Why couldn't it have been a Native American person? Why couldn't it have been an Indian or a Thai person? Why does it always have to be, if we're going to do a swap, we got to make it black or white? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like, of course, that's going to irritate people. So why not do something, quote unquote, bizarre, something why didn't you get somebody from Myanmar? Like nobody would expect that. And give some credit to other countries around the world or something, like, or Burma, like, why does it always have to be black or white?
Yeah, that is interesting to think about.
Why couldn't it made it? What if it would have been like a tropical person from some obscure corner of, I don't know, Ecuador?
God's Not Dead. It's a great Newsboys song. Yeah, Newsboys did a good job with that song. That's for sure. Mr. Old lead singer. Yeah, Newsboys. Yeah, I miss their old lead singer too. Now, how this is way off topic too, but how old? Which lead singer are we talking about? Before they kind of came into the 90s, when they were more on the hip hop side, or when they got more on the grungy type sounding music? Because that singer was the drummer, and then he became the singer. So, which singer are we talking about?
I'm really
for
confused.
Newsboys?
I didn't know Newsboys was that old. So,
Newsboys is old, from the 80s.
I just discovered them probably like 8 years ago or something.
Really? Oh my goodness!
I didn't really listen to that kind of music growing up, and I didn't grow up in I didn't grow up in the States either. So kind of discover stuff when I moved in here.
Oh, that's true. It's cool seeing Michael Tate from DC Talk being the front man. It is cool. But did you know some of the DC Talk people are they've gotten back together a few times for tours and stuff, which was pretty cool. I remember the '90s era. Okay, the '90s guy that used to be the drummer, but I think he was still drumming and singing at the same time too, though. So,
I always thought Michael Tate was the lead singer. I like him.
Michael
What
Tate.
do I
Yeah,
know?
he's from DC Talk. You didn't know that, huh, Tabitha?
I thought it was cool. I saw him at one of the White House conferences or whatever like that. And I'm like, thank you. It is about time that we saw more religious people being involved in politics. Like
Yeah,
that.
well, they did that back in the '90s. I don't know what happened. I don't know why they stopped doing that stuff. But the '90s was pretty popular for like Christian music and Christian things going on. Yeah. Hey, easy with the old talk. And I grew up in the '80s. Well, I just remember all them back, like in the late '80s and then early '90s, and then they switched people around, and they did it a few times. I think Newsboys did.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's
But
like
I
saying
think
it's real. They have a new
but
lead singer. I don't like it.
But they're good, Dax, it's okay that you're older. So am I. I think a lot of us are.
We're all older than Phil, and apparently that's what counts. So.
We're all older than Phil. No, we love Phil though.
Yeah.
Cool. John James and Peter Fuller as lead singers of the band. Yeah, they were good. Yep, the '90s was great for Christian music. I loved Amy Grant. Amy Grant was good. Yeah, that's true. Tabitha's all doesn't know what we're talking about now.
I mean, I know who Amy Grant is, but like again, like she was somebody we didn't listen to growing up. We didn't really listen to stuff like that. So.
If Dan said back in my day, I would have made a boomer joke.
That's why we say back in the day. Like we don't say
back in the day.
Back in the day.
That's right. Not back in my day. Back in the day.
Sometimes when I joke around with the bus kids at church, I'll be like, back in my day, when I was younger, because they, them being teenagers, they think, yeah, I'm so much older than them. Like I'm just a billion years old now. So,
yeah, if you look it up, I think Newsboys came from, I forgot what country they came from. I think it was like Switzerland or somewhere around that region. And I can't remember, but yeah, it's funny how they started and then got to where they are now. It's cool.
They were founded in Australia. In that region.
Yeah, in that region. I don't know. I was thinking because their accents were so weird, in the music that they were playing. The accents, I couldn't. I guess I didn't remember.
I mean, if you didn't know, you didn't know. It's just funny. You were like from Sweden, and I'm like from Queensland, Australia.
Well, I'm glad you looked it up. Oh wow, my whole thing is all blurry now.
I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you looked it up, though.
That's funny though.
Well, Tabitha, maybe older than me, but she's still rocking it. Can't say the same thing about my sister.
Rocking what, Phil? Existence? Thank you.
You're just rocking it.
I'll just take it.
You're rocking the look of.
I don't know what
we got Illuminati in this. We got Illuminati over here. We got the devil sign. Here we go. I might as well do this too.
I'll just do Spider-Man.
There you go. Dude, I love you. There you go. I love you, man.
I don't love, well, I should. I know I'm supposed to, but it's hard.
Hey, you gotta love everybody. Doesn't mean you have to like them. You gotta love them.
I don't have to like them, but I have to love them.
Anyways, good stream, everybody.
Yeah.
I think we're pretty much at the end here. Did we give Allegory a point? I don't remember. I guess we said no, right? Just because the movie was so wacky.
In the spirit of loving and generosity, I'll give it a half a point.
Half a point? I guess I'll give it a half a point too. So this whole movie got 1.5 points.
so bad because it's not even like my least favorite film. It's just like when you get to talking about it, though.
Exactly. I grew up in the 80s too, Dax. This is my new best friend. It's good. I'm glad you guys can make friends in the comments section.
Yeah, and look at that, bringing people together here on Inside the Booth.
That's right. So yeah, all right. So I guess that's it. 1.5 points in this movie. Tabitha says it wasn't her worst movie that she didn't like. Me, I think this was a really bad movie.
Oh yeah, it was a terrible movie, but I could watch it again and not be like angry or anything like that. But
I don't think I could watch it again. Just my opinion. I don't think I could.
I don't know that I'll ever want to. Like if somebody was like, "Hey, I've never seen this film, let's watch it." All right, sure.
I'd be like, "Yeah, no." I've seen it once. This is one of those movies when you see it once is enough.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't volunteer this movie.
Opinion.
I wouldn't put this. I mean, I did volunteer this movie for tonight, but that was for different reasons.
Yes. And you made me watch it. Thanks a lot.
Hey, you didn't have to say yes. I'm just saying.
Oh, no, that's okay. That's okay. It's good to get out of my comfort zone with movies that I like,
Right. I forgot that I didn't like this movie when I suggested it. In fact, I didn't remember I didn't really remember what my feelings towards the film really were until I rewatched it. So I was kind of
there you go. Maybe it's just new feelings now, you
I'm older now.
New feelings,
yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize this movie was so bad back in 2009.
There's just you go back and watch some of those older films, and when you don't when you're a kid, you just watch a movie for the movie. You don't think about, is the acting good? Is the cinematography good? So now you go back and you look at it and you're like, oh.
Right. Phil, he says he's never seen this movie. Well, Phil, if you get a chance, watch it. See what you think about it.
You might like it.
I mean, it's whatever.
That's right, Dax. Those were my exact words.
Let's watch this crappy movie.
That's how I make all my suggestions.
Yeah. I don't think I ever wanted to watch it just because I didn't think the trailer was interesting. I didn't think just the world, basically the trailer said the whole movie. It's like a guy running away from earthquakes, running away from water, floods, running away. It's just, how do you make a good movie out of that?
Well, that's what I'm saying. What drew me to the movie was I wanted to know how it ended.
Oh.
Yeah.
And now that you know.
Now that I know, it's like, it didn't really end. We just relocated literally the entire surface of the earth.
What do y'all think? This is Mystery Science Theater 3000. Actually, Dax, my brother and I have talked about something like that, doing something like that, and call it like a Mystery Science Christian 3000 or something weird.
4000
theater Christian, yeah. And obviously when we get more money, because right now we're on a shoestring budget. Maybe less than a shoestring budget. But
that piece of plastic at the end of a shoestring?
Yeah, that's the budget we're on. But we've talked about maybe doing something like that where we sit down, we watch, you see our silhouettes, and then we just kind of make fun of the movie as it's playing and stuff. You could be a part of it if you want, Dax. You'd be good at that. You like making fun of things, like me. John Cash, whatever.
Keep saying.
Yeah, yard holding the bomb box playing in our eyes, in your eyes. Yeah, in your eyes. Yep, that's great. I've already seen enough disaster movies after the sequel trilogy came out.
Whole other kind of disaster, yeah.
Yeah. Totally different kind of disaster. But you're right. Enough is enough. What's this saying?
Watch this was Tabitha's secret ploy to try to kill some of Dan's brain cells off. Tabitha cray cray.
They did a little bit.
That was my plan all along.
You do want to be on that show, huh? All right, good. We'll have to talk about it again and again until it comes to pass. Let's say TMNT. I'll watch the Last Airbender 10 times before I catch Captain Marvel.
I liked The Last Airbender, but that's also because I know nothing about the cartoons. So going in it with fresh mind, fresh eyes, knowing nothing about this film, I liked it. Was hoping that there would be a sequel, but there won't.
I'll be honest, I've never seen it. I was never interested after seeing the commercial. I was like, this looks dumb. Kind of reminded me of that movie that I saw one time with Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie, and they're like curving the bullet or something like that. It's so memorable that I'd even remember the name of the movie. And then the bullet curves. I don't know. It's so dumb. Obviously, I don't remember the name of that movie. I don't care to look it up either because it was a bad movie.
It sounds weird.
Yeah, it was weird. I have no idea what it was about. I don't even know if those were the actors in it. I think it was, but I'm not sure. Wanted. Oh, Wanted. There we go. Ron tells me what it was. Wanted. Yes. Phil says, Dan, save yourself. The Last Airbender is bad, especially compared to the cartoon.
Perhaps if you compare it to the cartoon, but if you don't compare it to the cartoon, I thought it was good.
Or if you don't compare it at all to anything and you don't even watch it, you might have a better life.
Well,
it's kind of like now, you know what's funny? Napoleon Dynamite was a funny movie.
Never seen
it. That's a brain cell killer. But it's one of those things where you're like,
I've never seen it.
if you don't ever, I mean, like if you just want to get out of like your head, out of the world, get out of what's going on around you, you sit down, you watch that movie, you just laugh because it's so ridiculously dumb. But the way they made it is so stinking smart. It's so funny. Anyways, I'll make Tabitha watch it one day.
Oh.
What Dak say? Phil, I don't like nightmares of horrible acting and arrogant actresses. So yeah, I know I said that this was pretty much it like 15 minutes ago. This is pretty much it again. We just been kind of chatting and hanging out and
I know we really could have just done this show in like 38 minutes, right? Because we
probably could have.
We got the music, and I didn't even try to elaborate. I'm like, no, gone.
Yeah, no, forget about it.
Phil, I've been reading. That's what I've been doing in my life. I read a lot of books and watch a lot of TV.
So. Thanks, guys, for hanging out with us. Thanks for coming and seeing the show. Thanks for giving us your take on some of these things. And we just hope we impact you guys in life once in a while, you know. So that's what Inside the Booth's all about. Talking about movies and Jesus. And
two of my favorite topics.
That's right. And yeah. So thanks for coming. And I guess that's it. Goodbye, everybody.
Thanks for coming.
I'm trying to think of what am I supposed to do now. I'm just kind of like.
Please be sure to visit us at insidetheboothtv.com if you want to get some really cool merch. Plus, we've got some new merch on the rise.
That's right. We got some. We're gonna have a cool thing about campfires and manly movies or something like that.
By the way, I think we should add a new category. I don't think there were any campfires in this film. There were plenty of fires in this film, but that doesn't count. I don't think that counts, does it? So was this movie
Maybe.
really manly? Or was
In
it a
this
chick
movie?
flick?
Oh, but
Because
there
it had
were
no
fires.
campfires. Well, that's what I'm
There were
asking.
fires, though.
Does it have to specifically be a campfire, or is it just fires in general?
Well, when you're looking down the what was it? What was that place called?
Yellowstone?
Valley, Yellowstone. Yeah, when you're looking down Yellowstone and the fires start coming up, they look like campfires for a few seconds there.
Well, but they look like it, but they weren't. So yeah,
Right,
I'm just
okay.
saying, where's the line we draw here with our
I don't know.
fires? We'll have to ask David.
We'll ask David. That's right.
He's the one that came up with this, I think.
I think so too. When John 3PO and Star Wars Girl ended their streams, they acted out scenes and even sang. It's just cool to hang out. It is cool to hang out.
Jay's funny to watch. So
Yeah. Vader Reviews. I subscribe to both of your channels. Good talking to you guys. Have a great night and God bless. Yes.
Thank you for being here.
Vader Reviews. Yeah, thank you for being here. I feel honored that he came.
I know.
If you watch his stuff, he sounds almost
it.
just like Darth Vader, and it's so cool. And I just like how he does his thing, and he's funny too. He's hilarious when he talks about the movies and stuff.
I love that his voice is a little off, to be honest. I think that adds to the humor of it. Like, if it would have been exactly like Darth Vader, I mean, it would have been great and cool, but the fact that it's somewhat off, it's like perfect.
This is Vader Reviews.
Right, exactly. I love it.
That's so cool. Yeah. Thanks again, Avery. Sorry about that. He said, "Thanks for the nightmares, Dan."
Anytime.
Should I end with the mask and stuff?
Yes.
Where did I put my coat? Put it back on. I attempted to unsub, then subbed again, just to say I just subbed to you guys. Phil. You know what that means? You got to see my yucky hair after this thing has been on my face for so long.
We'll cut off, just leave leave all the rest of it on there. Well, see, it adds to it, the grunge look.
There we go. Avery, just for you, my friend. Just for you.
We aim to please here at Inside the Booth.
That's right. Oh, wait. I got to put the goggles back on. You know what? Let's put these goggles on instead.
Mix things up a little bit.
Mix things up.
It's great.
I'm not going to zip this, though.
You look like weird googly eyes.
They're ecto goggles that I made for my kids. What do you say? No.
You kind of look like a weird Tuscan Raider.
I can't even see anything.
Okay, guys, I want to give you a little behind the scenes snippet here. Last time we were on, and Dan was looking for his microphone. And he put it on the floor, and he was trying to talk to us. He's like, "I don't know where my microphone is," and he's like, "Oh, I put it on the floor."
Yeah, I was putting things away while we were leaving or whatever, and
getting ready to leave.
Like, we can't really hear you.
And he's like, "I can't find my microphone." Anyway,
all right.
So for Avery, the 16th time,
thanks for showing up.
Yeah.
Everybody, don't forget, the end of the world's coming, and we got to get ready. I can't
your ticket.
Breathe in this. How do people wear masks all day long? I can't breathe in this freaking thing.
That's how you should have ended the stream. Just cut off right there and be like, Dan, what happened to Dan?
Okay, here we go. I can't see out of this. End broadcast. Okay, bye, everybody. I'm telling you what, use this as a do-rag. It will save your life. Forget about the mask. I can't breathe. This is great. Love you guys. Have a good night. Bye-bye. I think I got it on the right spot.